Hello and welcome back to PowerWash Simulator. When we last left off, we had accepted the job for the ancient monument. So this is one of I think there are a handful of things left, but let's go back to the stubby, our RV, their RV and our van. We got a proper dig site. You know what? I never noticed that gnome over there. But let's get started, yes? So I'm ooh, hi Wishy. Thanks for heading all the way this way out of town. It's great to catch up again. Can you believe the quality of the statue? This thing is likely over 8,000 years old. Yeah, pretty good quality for 8,000 years. It's also directly facing Mount Rushliss, almost like it's keeping watch. And Mount Rushliss is quietly, or not, maybe not so quietly, pumping out smoke and ash. Okay, let's make sure. Oh, we got our first ding already. Let's make sure that we are getting everything we can. There we go. Hopefully. There we go. The statue is pretty well sectioned. So, pretty easy. To get a lot of it clean in pretty short order. I love the fence. That isn't to say that there aren't parts that are hard to get to, of course. But I almost didn't record today. Partially because if you are aware of if you use Windows and you use like the Xbox app like I do, it can be a right pain sometimes, because occasionally gaming services will just up and stop working. And when that happens, you have to go through this whole big deal of restarting gaming services and then you have to reinstall it, basically. You have to uninstall it and then you have to reinstall it, and it's kind of a pain. And it's already a lot later than I normally record anyway. So I was initially going to call it good for today and just do a bunch of recording tomorrow. It is actually, as I'm recording this, the first of the month, though I know this won't go up for a couple of weeks, I believe. And that's fine. There we go. But I've been trying to get back on the ball in regards to recording. But just a second. Let me pull up my question list because I went off script last episode. So we are gonna ask, and I know I've asked. No, I guess I haven't. So we're gonna go into the question of the day, and today's question is, what is your favorite season? I feel like I have absolutely asked that before. But we are actually in my favorite. I am a very big fan of the fall. The cooler weather, despite the fact that we're supposed to get a spike in the heat and all kinds of other things. But despite all that, yeah, I really love the fall. It's like when the weather is getting all nice and cool, and you're inclined to have the occasional really warm day, sure, but for the most part, there we go. It's pleasant, and we love pleasant. But yeah, like, what is your favorite season? Are you a summer person? Are you that is a loud bird? Uh, are you a summer person? Are you a fall person? Do you like the spring? The spring's pretty great. There we go. I don't think that's gonna help much. Yeah. Oh no, okay. So I took a moment yesterday, I think, and looked up what all was left. And there's this and a handful of other things. And I know there's a ship. Oh, I was having trouble with that one. But there is a ship. And that one, I think, is directly after this. And then I think we are on the home stretch. I do think, though, that the last thing or two is going to take a few videos each. There we go. Primarily because they are bigger areas. Like, the last area is massive. Let's up the ladder. Very loud bird. Here. Ourselves an extension. I guess whoever made it had an advanced mythology already. Yeah, probably. I mean, humans have existed for a really long time. For way longer than we, I think, really realize. The web spine along the back, is this some sort of reptile deity? It could be. Wouldn't rule out the possibility. Go down, because I'm missing this bit. There we go. But mythology is interesting. I love seeing why people come up. See what people come up with as far as explaining the world around them. It's always really fascinating because it's like, yeah, I can see how you got there. And I don't mean that in like a condescending way, because you get a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, those ancient people, right? No, I don't mean in a condescending way. I mean it genuinely. Always really fascinating to see what cultures come up with and how it ties into the world. And does it continue to tie into the modern world? Because you'll have mythologies that are literally thousands of years old. And it's like, how does this tie into the modern day? Does it tie into the modern day? And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's just an interesting examination, I think. Okay, let's grab that. Put that there. Because, of course, the bits we are missing are the bits we can't quite see. Okay, man. I think I may have to go up here. And try it from here. Yeah, okay. I didn't see that. But yeah, no, it's always really interesting to see where things come from. And see how well it fits current day. Because sometimes it really does. It fits, and it not only does it fit, it fits well. And sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. Yeah. Definitely gonna have to go up again. Get this webbing. We're already nearly 30% into this, which makes me think that this is actually going to be fairly short. Let's grab this one as well. And grab this section as well as the fin. Or the webbing. We'll start on the arm as well. Because we can knock out a few things at once. That's the webbing. I think I might actually have to change the question for next video too. Because now I'm curious, like, what your views on like culture is. What's a culture that you really love enjoying, you love learning about? So yeah, I think that's what the next question is going to be. So let me put that down. let's see. No, I think we'll skip it out. The Okay, so that's probably just going to be a twofer, so we'll leave it like that. Okay. But yeah, I'm actually very interested. I like mythology. I like learning about different cultures and learning about how similar other cultures are to mine. Like being an American, being a Black American, my cultural experiences are probably going to be different than some others. I mean, not probably, definitely. There we go. Um, we'll leave that, and we'll just go up and around. Because what we want is over here. But there's that variation of culture within a culture. Like being an American culture is my culture, but also being Black, that is also a significant part of my cultural identity. Didn't want to have to come back down. There we go. Oh, that was a chug I didn't enjoy. There we go. And of course, it's those that bit of culture that informs a lot of things that I do. To get back immediately to that. Put that there. To make life easier. There we go. There, see? Much better. There we go. But yeah, learning about... That is a very loud bird. I know I complained about there not being any real ambiance, but jeez. Of course, these things aren't necessarily literal. The Egyptians had statues with the heads of storks and cows, true. Doesn't mean the pyramids were chock full of fish and hay. Where... There we go. Goodness. Okay. But yeah, like... There are bits and pieces of culture that inform a lot of, how you think, how you see the world. And I know this is all obvious. Like, if you take a social... an appropriate social studies course, you will... That's like anthropology and culture 101. Not that I've ever taken an anthropology course. Anthropology was not something I studied when I was in school. I was probably surprising no one, an art major. Here we go. I'm never sure if that's surprising to people or not, though. Yeah, I was an art major. I feel like that's, to me, obvious. If you were to meet me in real life, I feel like you'd be able to look at me and go, yeah, the fact that you were an art major is probably the least shocking thing about you. Um, but I feel like it's like extremely obvious. Like you look like you studied art in school, and I don't know if that's the case or not for me. Probably though. Feels like it's the case. And I don't mean it in like a bad way. Like, there is nothing wrong with art majors. Again, having been one. But we tend to have a way about us. Um but I also was the weird kid that took chemistry in high school, so like despite the fact that I didn't need to. Um because I thought it was fascinating. And I feel like that just says so much about me as a person. There we go. Let's go up all the way, because I think that's, yeah. There we go. We can start coming back around here. I don't want to completely clean this one just yet. I do want to get into that crevice, though. And I also want to start back up on, like, the spines and the fins. Again, very loud bird. It sounds like an eagle, no less. It could totally be something else, but it does sound like an eagle. Which, to some people's dismay, yeah, that's kind of what eagles sound like. That majestic screech that you hear that's often attributed to eagles is actually, not. They are, uh, typically red-tailed hawks. Um, and I found this out partially by accident. I live in an area where red-tailed hawks are pretty common. Let's switch to the long one. And as a result, I tend to hear them. I don't see them a ton. I don't hear them nearly as much as I used to years ago, but yeah, like, you get used to hearing them, and it's like, oh, I thought that was an eagle. It's kind of the same thing with, um, there we go. If you've ever, like, heard a lion roaring in a movie, that's not a lion. It's a tiger, actually. And I know people tend to be kind of shocked by that, because it's like, well, you know, No, it's absolutely a lion. No, no, it's a tiger. If you've ever heard the sound that a lion makes, it it's not that. I'm not saying that a lion, sounds bad or anything. I like lions, but I like tigers a little more. And I kind of understand how lions got the title of King of the Beasts, or, like, whatever, but I don't know. If I'm remembering correctly, tigers are actually technically bigger. Um, so, there's always that. There we go. Cleaning up the ones that we didn't quite finish. There we go. We'll get more of the arm, too. This is actually cleaning up way quicker than I thought it was going to, which means that I may actually have to start the next area here in this video, which, like, I'm not mad about, but I was expecting this to take longer, because I think it took a while when I did it the first time. Let's see. Let's get that clean. I realize that I probably shouldn't be attempting to gauge how long it takes to clean this based on how long it took for me to do stuff in the previous playthrough. Because unfortunately that playthrough is a little bit skewed because I was technically working at the time. I had started playing while I was in the middle of projects, just waiting for feedback. Like, hey, I don't have anything to do while I'm waiting for this feedback. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a video game. And having two monitors makes that so much easier. So if you were ever debating getting a second monitor, maybe consider it. I think keep forgetting that you can't. Okay. Game will not let you rotate stuff in the opposite direction, which means that you're kind of stuck. There we go. There we go. Clean this bit of chest panel. Having said that, have you heard of the aquatic ape theory? No. No, I have not. I have, but, Some believe that we humans spent part of our African prehistory living semi-aquatically. There's a theory. They say that's why we're the only hairless apes with webbed hands and an insulating layer of fat under our skin. had always thought it was a fringe theory before. It could still be a fringe theory. Like, there's nothing that says this is true. Okay. Up. Let's clean more of this arm. I know I said I wanted to stick to not bouncing. But this is less about bouncing and more about even cleaning. We have to go up a bit. Let's maybe stick the, there we go. But yeah, no, it's more about even cleaning than anything. Come up here and start cleaning this. But it is interesting, the theories that people come up with, but it's also really frustrating because unfortunately a lot of those theories tend to be rooted in racism. The amount of people that will tell you that we can't this group couldn't possibly have done that thing because, well, how would they have done it? It's the ancient aliens people. I cannot stand the ancient alien people. There is something so deeply nonsensical about that argument. Like, just because you don't understand how something happened doesn't mean that aliens have to have been present. Unfortunately, it is disturbingly popular. You know, I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens, dude. You know, there are a lot of people who ascribe to that theory, like, oh yeah, no, totally. The pyramids and the ziggurats and all of these other things are entirely too similar to have been built by people. So clearly it was aliens, but, like, won't extend the same consideration to things built in Europe. And it's like, oh, so you don't think that people couldn't have built those things. You think brown people couldn't have built those things. No, you don't think that brown people are intelligent enough to build those things. Just say that. I would rather you just said that. Like, please don't insult my intelligence. Please don't insult anybody's intelligence. It's not right. So yeah, not a fan of the ancient aliens theory. So I tend to not be a terribly big fan of a lot of the, I guess, fringe theories, because they tend to be pretty much the same thing. And looking at this, yeah, it looks like, unless I slow way down, it looks like I am headed up to finishing this and still having time. Which isn't terrible, but it's not great either. I want it to keep areas pretty well contained. And there's no real way to do that if you split an area. There we go. Let's see. There we go. What am I? There we go. So we mostly just have... Most of the back is done. Except for the... Still have that bit to do. Let's go up and see if we can't find... Let's go up and see if we can't find the spot that still needs to be done there. Yeah, I don't... There we go. So looks like all we've got left is the last few bits of chest, the shoulder slab, go around to the other side. You have the pendant. We'll start cleaning the neck. That way, we're not trying to figure out that bit. Let's switch to that. I think we're going to need... Okay. I think I need to go down a little. Yeah. Yeah, I've mentioned this before, but the hitboxes are really weird. So, oh, there we go. Up we go. Oh, I can't actually see what I'm missing here. Is it in the necklace line? Is it not? Might actually end up taking longer than I thought. Yeah, okay. So I think, realistically speaking, we're just gonna have to go back down. There we go. There we go. I think we're good to switch back to this 15-degree nozzle. But I think we're going to end up having to get on the shoulder. Yeah. Let's switch to the stubby. Yeah, I was expecting this. I was actually genuinely expecting this to take longer. And now that it hasn't, as much as I would prefer to avoid that, we're gonna have to add a little bit from the next area in here, which I guess is okay. This is all kind of the same area, so we're just gonna quick wash it. ear. Make sure you're cleaning all the crooks and crevices of the ears. I do like the statue, though. It is really interesting. There we go. Oh, still got some dirt in that ear. Still got some dirt along here as well. Get down. And go back up. Oh no, I thought that was a good idea. It never is. You still have to clean the pendant, too. Oh, that's too long. Yes. Okay, back up. I've come to the stark realization okay. That I have a tendency to stop talking. And that's probably fine, but I'm actually super self-conscious about a lot of things, including whether or not I'm making decent content. Let's go back up so we can be a little higher. Switch to that. I realize, in the grand scheme of things, as much as I am doing this for my own personal enjoyment, I'm also playing for an audience, and making sure the audience is having a good time is also important. Okay. There we go. Still on. We'll come back down. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get the long one. There we go. Doc, I don't know where you're at, but if it's anywhere near Muckingham, then you need to get out right. Not in Muckingham. I don't know where I am, but I'm not in Muckingham. Mount Rushless could blow at any minute. I'm just praying that we got time to scoop up Mom and Paw first. I think you might have time. Yeah, it's a little terrifying knowing that there's an erupting volcano. See, that bit's clean. I want it to clean in the ear, because I couldn't get to it. Alright, there's no more dirt in the ear, but unfortunately the ear itself is still kind of filthy. Let's take care of that, yes. But I've never been in a volcano. I've never, like, been near a volcano. I live in an area that is, like, we have mountains, but if there were any volcanoes in the area, they've been dormant for a very long time. Not saying, like, that's a bad thing. Just saying. Let's clean the ear. I may actually stick with this because this is while it doesn't cover a lot of ground, it does eat through stuff really quickly. Clean that. And more to it, it does get into those nooks and crannies a pretty good deal. We'll, of course, have to go back and clean up areas like this side right here. We'll have to clean up, bottoms. There we go. That's another section done. Not quite. There we go. But I know what the last area of the game is. And I also know it's a very large area. I think it's bigger than, I believe it's bigger than the subway station. Or the terminal, or whatever that is. I say it like I didn't literally just edit that episode today. But yeah, that one is, that area is really large. It's pretty extensive. It's a lot. And I'm, as much as I am looking forward to it, I'm also kind of not, because it's a large area. But I also know we have a boat first. I don't know how many more episodes it's going to be. I think I may have miscounted. I think there's... No, I definitely did miscount, thinking about it. Because the list that I looked at was a bit separated, and I don't know if it involved any of the DLC. There we go. Which kind of means that I don't actually have an accurate count, which is a bit of a bummer. Got his eye. Got the eye boogies out. There we go. I also need to check and see what piece of the necklace is still left dirty, because it's still listing as dirty. Under there. Get this side of the face started. Make sure we're getting in the nose. You don't want to show up for pictures and you get hangers on in your nose. There we go. That would be the worst. The inside of the chin guard. I think I'm seeing where the necklace is still dirty. Let's go up. Oh. Yeah, okay. There's that section of the face done. Really frustrating thing is I think I may have to, and I can't. Okay. Let's put that back down. I can't use it the way I thought I was going to be able to. Clean. I promise I'm not stretching this out needlessly. This is just literally me trying very hard to get this clean and not succeeding. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Let's see if we can't see. Right there. Probably stand to oh. Go back to that. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. There we go. We are goodness, you're loud. Yeah, man. What part of the necklace is still dirty? There we go. There we go. Still bits of the face that need to be cleaned. On the back of the helmet. Still that to clean. Okay. Get back down. Hopping on them. Switch to that. There we go. I think the thing we need now is there we go. So we are literally genuinely almost done. Also, you know, thinking about it, I distinctly remember there being a golf course, so I may actually have an inaccurate count altogether. There we go. So I think what I'm going to do between episodes is I think I'm going to sit down and actually try and find an accurate count of the areas with the DLC to make sure that I'm not misremembering. Okay. There we go. As much as I like fiddly bits and designs, it is an absolute pain to clean this. And this is why I think designers tend to go for more simple stuff when it has to be practical. Because that's a lot of stuff to do. And I think that's part of the reason why you tend to, if you see animation, stuff that has to be animated tends to be a little more simplistic. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you have to animate all that stuff. There is no way that you're gonna want to animate some big clunky. Oh, come on. Yeah, man. There's no way you're gonna want to animate something big and clunky and difficult. And yet, come on. And yet, I think it's the top of the ear that I need on that. No, seriously, where is the rest of that ear? Let's switch back to the 15 degree, because that way we're, like, covering a little more. The circle sprayer is good, but, like, this covers more ground. And I missed. Of course I missed. There we go. There we go. Clean the top of that crust. And of that. Really? There we go. Helmet crust, helmet slabs, helmet decoration. We're gonna need to go up here for that. Switch to the long. That way we are getting to you. I think that is stone. Yep. Because we have taken quite a lot of time. But you know what? That's because we can afford it. Not what we want. Equipment. We can buy that. Switch back to that. Stone cleaner. Let's see. Okay. Let's. There we go. But yeah, I think I may actually be misremembering to such a degree that I'm going to have to definitively double check. There we go. Like, it's genuinely that bad. There we go. The study. That's one. That's two. What slab do we have left? What am I doing? Helmet decoration, helmet slab. Show me what needs to be cleaned. There we go. Decoration needs to be cleaned. I don't see what of it needs to be cleaned. So we're just gonna... Oh. Okay. Please help me. I've done some terrible thing. Okay. Actually, that is where we're going to call it for today. As a reminder of the question of the day, what is your favorite season? Mine's fall. So if you enjoyed this video, or any of the videos in the series, or any of the videos I've ever done, I do apologize for the background noise, do consider leaving the video a like, the channel a subscription, and hitting the notification bell so you know when I upload, even if it is really regular. You can also find me at coffee.com/dorknut. That is ko-fi.com/dorknut if you're so inclined to leave a tip, but please do not feel obligated. But yeah, that's it for today. So come see me again sometime, won't you? Goodbye.